I seriously need somebody to drive me around so I don't kill myself while doing these. But here's the deal. I'm on a long drive, so I'm taking advantage of this. I'm on the parkway, I'm going straight, I'm looking at the road, I'm not looking at my phone, so I don't think I'm gonna die doing this freaking blog here. So here's the deal. I'm really sick and tired of all the bullshit with the gurus and the masterminds and the fucking gold level, platinum level, all this bullshit. All these videos, 20, 30 minutes, that tell you nothing. They tell you like, oh, there are these magical fucking things that if you pay me X amount of money, you're gonna get access to, or, you know, I've had the most amazing mentors in the whole world and all this shit. I'm like, please understand that this comes down to like some simple basic realities for business. All right, most of you that are buying into this bullshit are looking for secrets. There are no secrets. You know what you have to do, but what you're really looking for are ways to not have to do them. So you need to wake up and realize that nothing's changing. Business is not changing. The mediums in which we communicate in business are changing, but business is still the same thing. It's skill, it's knowledge, it's hustle. That's it. You will hear me say this time and time again. Skill, knowledge, hustle. Your skill is your internal DNA. That's what you're naturally, predisposed at doing, which is what you tap into because that's the shit you're going to be happy to do at 4:30 in the morning every single day of your life. You know, and then knowledge is the information that you require, which again, the gurus, the mind whatevers, I mean, fuck all those names. There are people that are smarter than you that you need to listen to. Absolutely. There are books that you should read. There's videos that you should watch. There's tons of information out there. But, you know, you just have to get good information that relates back to your skills, fills in the holes in terms of your personal experience. And then the hustle factor, guys, that is everything. There is no magic system, no passive income stream, no nothing that is going to allow you to make money, live your dreams without doing anything. It's all bullshit. That's why they all keep selling it. They sell this shit, they make it mysterious, they make it sound like there's only like 1% of 1% in the world that can actually live their dreams. But if you pay $19.99 like the millions of other people that have paid $19.99, you could be, wait a minute, it makes no sense. I just said to you, like, pretty much nobody is living that lifestyle, but there are millions of people that are buying the ebook and the video series and the bullshit that's going to make them think they could. And then most of the time you get into those things and they give you a little bit of information and then they're like, well, now you pay me more and then I'll give you the automated. You know, it's like, it's just predatory bullshit. And I don't care what anybody says. You don't need a mastermind. You don't need a guru. Anybody who has the balls to call themselves these things is completely full of shit. We all have access to the same information. If you go and scour YouTube, you can find most of what you're looking for free. For fucking free. You don't need to spend $4,000 to go and have somebody regurgitate somebody else's shit in a pretty package. I've done it. I made that mistake. Sorry, MPE, but you're full of shit. I went on MPE and for $4,000, yes, I wasted $4 fucking grand. I got basically repackaged Dan Kennedy information. You can buy Dan Kennedy's entire series of books for under $100 and get exactly what MPE is pushing. Then you call them out on it, they act like they don't know who Dan Kennedy is, and they hit you with a bunch of shit that makes no sense. They're full of it. Don't waste your time. Now here's the deal. I did start a company, and I'm not putting out there that I have any secrets. I'm telling you that my whole mission is to get you in contact with your skills, to provide you with the resources so that you can get knowledge, and then help you hustle, and then work with you to focus you and direct you and do the basic business things that make people successful. I'm not saying to you I'm going to make you a millionaire. I'm not saying to you I'm going to make you part of the 1%. FYI, the 1% that everybody talks about, like if you go to, you know, all these people that are hollering about the 1% that are screwing America over, the entry level into the top 1% earners in the United States is $400,000. Let that sink in. $400,000. If you are thinking about the top 1%, maybe the uninformed person, which I was a part of, so I'm not pointing fingers or making fun of, I'm saying before you look at the data, you would probably think it's like 100 million or something crazy like that, because the amount of information that comes across your Facebook feed, your Twitter account, your Instagram, of people with their bling bling and their fancy sunglasses and their big ass watches, driving their super fancy cars, talking about $1 million masterminds. Yo, that's bullshit. If you took all the people that bought these programs and figured out how much money they haven't made, I mean, it's ridiculous. Nobody's making the millions, guys. It's a very rare situation to see people consistently making millions of dollars off of anything they get involved in. I'm not saying you can't be a millionaire. I'm saying by all means, if that's your goal, go for it. But the whole thing is, again, skill, knowledge, hustle, right? Well, the other thing we got to factor into here is happiness. So you really have to just wrap your head around what the hell is it that's going to make you happy. Do you want to join the bowling league and and go to every one of your kids' sports games and drink beer on Friday nights, or do you want to really have to work 18-hour days and really put in the grind? I mean, everybody's idea of happiness and success is different. You may have the idea in your head that you want to be a millionaire, but you don't have the skills to make $2,700 a day, or that you don't want to do what it takes to make $2,700 a day, because that's what it takes to make $1 million in a year. So you got to get it straight in your head. If I'm talking primarily to the fitness, martial arts, combat sports industry too. Guys, to make $1 million doing what you're doing, the amount of work you have to do is pretty substantial. It's not easy to get the people that you need to make $1 million through your door. If you have 1,000 square foot, 1,200 square foot gym, you're not going to make $1 million teaching this year. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. There are not enough hours in the day to jam people into that spot. You can upsell them all you want, but unless you're doing $400 an hour private lessons with 2 or 3 people in the room with you teaching at the same time, this is going to be really hard to do. I mean, you can make $120,000 a year with a 1,200 to 1,800 square foot spot that you're absolutely hustling on, that you keep your overhead really low, you keep, your student retention extremely high, and you have the systems in place to build a business instead of just maintaining a certain level of business. These are the things I push. This is what I talk about. There's no secrets to the stuff I just said. It sounds like I'm giving you a teaser, like there's some magic because I said the word systems. Here's the system, people. Consistently tell stories. Okay? Consistently tell stories to a targeted audience, and then go out in the world, meet as many people as you can, drive them to your website, but even better, drive them to your physical location. And use your ability to tell stories in person and online to attract a specific customer that's going to benefit from what you're doing and can afford what you're doing and has the time to consistently do it. If you work with that simple thing right there, that strategy, you're going to be busy consistently. It's really, I'm not going to say simple, but that's just the reality of a wow, I fucked that up, person-driven service business. All right, so again, going and paying guys like Lloyd Irving $10,000 to go on a weekend and have guys tell you about all the millions of dollars they're making and all the little hacks and tricks and mind-bending apps that they've got, it's all bullshit. You can do this shit for free. You can do this shit for a little bit of money and work with groups like mine. You can call me up and we can have a nice conversation for not a lot of money that can drive your business for a year. And again, all I'm going to do is regurgitate what I just told you, but I'm going to do it a little bit more specific to you because I'm not speaking to any one person here. I'm speaking to a wide audience, so I have to be a little bit more general. But there are very specific things that relate to you, your community, your goals, what ideas you're looking at. You want to make $100,000? Well, there's a very specific strategy and plan to do that. But then again, we got to look at your space. We got to look at what classes you teach. We got to look at what kind of skill set you have. We got to look at what kind of people you need to bring in because you're not good at everything. Nobody is, either am I. So it's like simple shit, man. Just don't fall for these predators and their bullshit, and stop buying 1,000,001 books that are all saying the same thing, or even better, the ones that are selling like, I got the book. I stopped buying books on this one. I bought that book called The One Thing. I read this fucking book and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. I mean, unless you're pretty much somebody with your head so far up your ass you can't think straight, you don't need somebody to tell you that thinking about one thing at a time is a good fucking idea, do you? Seriously, do you? Like, you know that biting off more than you can chew is really difficult to swallow. You've been doing it, it's not really working out so great for you. So, I mean, do you really need somebody to tell you that what's not working out is not working out? You're gonna read these things and go, holy shit, my world's a mess. Please, you don't sleep at night because you know that your world's a mess. And if your world's great, you know your world's great, and you really do know why. The only issue you got to worry about when you're doing good is complacency. Again, it's not a secret. It's something you already know. It's the thing you kick yourself in the ass for every time you're successful and you drop off, and then you have to rebuild. We all go through it. The key is just identifying your humanity, guys. This is not, again, something that you really need anyone to hold your hand. I don't believe in doing everything by myself either. I mean, that's why I'm working on the projects I'm working on, because as a group, that kind of reminds us to what our core values as business people needs to consistently be. You know, we need to be reminded of why we're successful. We need to be reminded that we're not failures because we're not doing well right now. There is a way out of it. You know there's a way out of it. You just kind of have to find your nuts again and get back to it. You know, so having people around you to push you is great. And, you know, when you're in a fitness or martial arts business, you can't lean on your students because your students then become your partners, and then it's very difficult for you to ask for money from them. So if your students are the ones that are holding your hand through your problems, you've got a bigger problem than you realize. You know, you need other professional business people that are in the same boat as you are, that are struggling, are successful, are super successful. And we're not going to give them names like gurus and masterminds and all that kind of shit either. Because again, when we get into all these stupid titles, we stop looking at the data as data that needs to be analyzed. We just start looking at it as like these holy grail opportunities, like, oh my God, this guy's got the keys to the kingdom. Nobody's got the keys to your kingdom but you. Miyamoto Musashi, you know, he was the one who said all the answers lie within. You know, so those of us in the martial tradition, it's nice to hear from a martial artist going back, you know, hundreds of years that, you know, he got it then. The value of that phrase, it's never changed. Everything we need is within us. We do have knowledge that we have to get that'll pull these things out of us. But if you never ran into another thing and you shut off the internet and you never read another book again and all you did was interact with people and you upped your game and you made sure that you had consistent value for the people you're dealing with, you would be just fine. That's it. So I'm going to wrap this up because I'm getting a little hot, because I see all these bullshit things across my feed, and I see all you people wasting your time and money chasing dreams that are unchaseable. And I'm not saying, you know, your dreams don't matter. I mean, that's my freaking business catchphrase. Your dream absolutely matters, but your dream of not having to do anything to achieve your dream, that's bullshit. You should not be an entrepreneur. You should not be a manager. You shouldn't even be a teacher if that's the way you feel. If you're looking for the, you know, point and click, not have to do anything or interact, you're fucked. Get out of your business. Go work for somebody else, because you need direction, because you're not responsible enough to direct other people. So I got off of what I was trying to say there. Here's the main thing. I'm going to wrap this shit up really simple. If you want to be successful in business, you need to do two things. You need to target your audience. Actually, it's three things. I got to correct myself. So you have to target an audience. You have to figure out what your value is to that audience. And then you have to storytell so that the audience understands. If you can do that, you'll be able to monetize anything. Forget about fitness and martial arts and all that shit. You can pretty much do anything. You could sell widgets to factories. You can sell anything. Once people understand your value, they'll buy it. Because if they're identifying with the value, they see the need, and then they will participate. And then you don't have to discount, and then you don't have to give freebies, and then you don't have to like lower your value, because your storytelling is going to be strong enough that you're going to make people understand that, yeah, they do need it and it is worth it, and then they do it. That's it. It's that fucking simple. So please, I beg you, I implore you, stop wasting your time and money on bogus systems that don't deal with the basics. If you want to deal with basics, if you want to become a better business person, if you want to become a master communicator, if you're sick and tired of the gurus and the masterminds and the bullshit like I am, go to Fitin, PHITIN.com. We're going to start pre-enrollment for our basically our social network and consulting site. The information will be launching piece by piece over the next 30 days, but you can get on board right now and get memberships at a discounted rate to get started. The first 100 people are going to get half price memberships for life. So if you want to save some money and you want to make some money and you want to do some freaking good in the world and for yourself and for the people you work with, check us out. Because I'm not full of shit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sell you on bullshit. I'm not going to act like there's magic in this world. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to shoot it straight. And that's it. I'm going to give you what you need to know. And I'm just going to ask you to give me the effort. You give me the hustle. I'll help you identify your skill. And I'll point you in the direction of knowledge. I'll provide knowledge. And we'll work together and we'll make you the business that is appropriate to where you're at, to the level of finances that you're at, to what's going to make you happy, what's not going to bog you down, what's not going to drive you crazy. We're going to get you a customer that you actually want to teach, put enough of them in the facility that you've got to get you to where you need to go, and that's it. So Fitin.com, that's my baby, that's my brainchild. I am no guru. I am no fucking mastermind. I'm just a dude who knows some shit, who's figured out the real truth. And the truth is that it's real simple if you focus and you get down to the basics and you provide that value and you learn how to tell stories. All right, so I'm gonna go back to driving, try not to kill myself so I actually follow through on the shit I was just talking about. Peace!